Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm Rina Shazana binti Muhammad Sabri. I'm going to present my part, which is data arrangement. Step 1. Step 1 is to decide on the number class. A useful recipe to determine the number of the class, which is k, is the 2 to the k rule, such that 2k more than n. There are not enough classes. If we let k will be 6. So 2 6, which is we can get 64, which is greater than 36. So the recommended number is class is 6. Step 2 is determine the class interval or width. Class width is maximum entry minus by minimum entry, so divide by number of class, which means 159.3 was the maximum entry, and minus by 55.2, which is minimum entry, so divided by number of class, which is 6, so we get 17. Step 3 is set the individual's class limit. The minimum data entry is convenient lower limit for the first class. To find the lower limits of the remaining 6 classes, add the class width of 3 to the lower limit of each previous class. The upper limit of the first class is 72.2, which one less than the lower limits of the second class. The upper limits of the other class are 55.2, so add by 17. 17 is the width of the class, so we can get 72.2. So 72.2 plus by 17, we can get 89.2, and so on. So step 4 is make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class. So we can go on to step 5. The number of the tally mark for the class is frequency for that class. For the classes 55.2 and the 72.2, the tally is 12. It means the frequency is 12, and so on. Second is relative frequency distribution. The relative frequency is the portion of percentage of the data that falls in that class. To find the relative frequency of the class, divide the frequency f by the sample size, which is n. The formula of relative frequency is class frequency, which is f, divided by sample size, which is n. For example, the first class, which is 55.2 until 72.2, the frequency is 12. So to get the relative frequency, we divide 12 divide by 36, which is the sample size is 36. So we can get 0. The table, which is in frequency distribution.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mihidayah binti Ali Abdul Rahman and my metric number has 19A0539. So I'm going to present my part, which is graphical method. Here is the frequency polygon table. A frequency polygon is a graph constructed to connect the midpoints of each interval or beam by using lines. The frequencies are defined by the heights of the points. You may construct a frequency polygon from the histogram or by measuring the beam's midpoints from the frequency distribution table. Next, okay, this is frequency polygon graph. So as we can see here, the highest frequency, which is 12, and the labor force by each group Kedah 1982 till 2019 is 63.7, and the lowest one is frequency 3 and 135.7 labor force by each group Kedah 1982 till 2019. Next, this is Ogilvy table. As Ogilvy chart is a curve of the cumulative frequency distribution or cumulative relative frequency distribution. Lastly, this is histogram graph based on the or give table. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Norma Fardiana binti Muhammad Rahih. My metric number is H19A0557. Today I will present about measure of center tendency. Okay, measure of CT provide information about typical or average value of the data. The CT is single value the ability to describe a set of data but identify the CT as something calling by measure of center location. Okay, we look the calculate of three is mean, median, and mode. Okay, what is a mean? Mean is static mean refer to the mean or average that is used for divide or CT of data in question. It is determined by the attributes average in the sum of the all value. Okay, what is mean of media? Media is refer to the median value when data value are arranged to the number order. When the odd number of the data increase, the medium of the middle value is the order. So even a number, so media is mean the two middle data enters. And lastly, mood. Mood is the data entry that occurs with the greatest. It means a bigger. If no entry is repeat, the data have set no mood. If two entries occur with the same greatest, each entry is model and the data set is the build model.
Hi and hello everyone, especially to our lecturer. I want to thank you for giving me these opportunities to presentation. So my name is Norisika binti Ahmad. I'm net of presenters. So I want to presentation about measures of variations. So the meaning of measures of variation is refers to measures of central tendency is some parameters attempt to describe the amount of variation between variables. So in this context, we use three type of parameters. They are range, variance, and standard deviation. So I want to explain what the meaning type of parameters, which is the range. The range refers to the difference between the maximum and minimum data entries in the set. For this assignment, we use this formula that I writing in the slide presentation. Next is I want to explain about the variance. The meaning of variance. For your information, the variance meaning is refers to a statistical measurement of the spread between number is a data set. In this assignment, we usually use the grouped data for calculate the variance. In variance, there are three categories. Include the grouped data, others is population, and ungrouped data. In this formulation to calculate the variance, meaning of standard deviation is the square root of variance. The standard deviation also we use the same categories is grouped data, and this formulation to calculate the standard deviation. Thank you.
Measure of position. A measure of position is a method by which of position that a particular data value has within a given data set can be identified. As with other types of measure, there is more than one approach to defining such a measure. To determine the measurement of position, the data must be sorted from lowest to highest. Quartiles. Quartiles are the value of the variable that divide a set of observations into four equal parts. Each set of observations has three quarters, and they are denoted by Q1, Q2, and Q3. This is the difference between the upper and lower quarters is called the interquartile range.
In conclusion, we use some methods such as data arrangement graphic method to calculate the data, and relative frequency distribution and cumulative. Okay, and we use two types of graph, such as frequency is polygon and histogram. We use measure for the center tendency to calculate mode, mean, and median. Okay. The shape of the expression can divide into two types, such as symmetry and non-symmetry. The symmetric line will order when a visual line can be drawn through the middle of the graph of the distraction when the graph shows the mirror image. Thank you.